ever been sitting somewhere and like you're sitting there for an extended time, then someone goes, "Are you all right?" Like I missed something for 2 seconds or something. You ever got that? It's like, did
That's
you
the
see something that I did not see?
when I get the zombie
Yeah.
face.
Yeah, I
That's
get
what it
asked
is.
that. It's like, you okay? You okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm okay. What's wrong?
Constantly,
Happened
yeah.
a lot more recently.
See, I used to get that before I was diagnosed. You know, before I had my first grand mal, and people would, always say that to me, like, "What's up with you, kid? What are you looking at?" I'm just, I never knew why people would say that to me. Maybe I was having a seizure. I don't know.
Yeah, you're always like, yeah, what's wrong with you? Like,
Right. I'd be like, did I miss something?
Yeah.
yeah.
Kate, you
But
were
who
gonna
knows
say
if we
something?
miss time?
I was agreeing, that's when I have my zombie face they describe, and I guess that's what prompts somebody asking what's up, because you just look like you're gone, you're not there.
Yeah.
All right. Urgent help. As usual, I'm an epileptic patient. I take 2,000 milligrams of Keppra as prescribed, clobazam 10 milligrams. Today I took 20 milligrams of clobazam. I couldn't sleep for the last 2 nights. What should I do? Is it the anxiety that's causing my seizure? I don't know. I haven't taken clobazam.
They always tell me 2 weeks. If you're having a side effect for 2 weeks that started after taking a medication, that's when it's safe to say it's because of the meds. Clobazam doesn't do that for me, but I know anxiety, like stressing out, is way more likely to cause a sleepless night than the meds that I'm on now. It's just clobazam and levetiracetam.
I haven't really had sleeping problems on the clobazam or however it's
Yeah, they
pronounced.
do start it out at a low dose too. 10 milligrams isn't that much. Even upping it to 20. They told me to take 20 twice a day now.
Yeah, I'm only on 10 milligrams once a day before night, but it's supposed to induce sleepiness.
That's why the person said they took 20 instead of 10?
Yeah.
Okay. They said they couldn't sleep, so they took 20 milligrams, which obviously.
Oh, okay. That could.
All right. Ever have a seizure and just walk?
It's also a seizure medication though, so.
What? Wait, clobazam?
Yeah.
I never took it, but I hear a lot about it. I wouldn't say I hear a lot of bad things or good things. I just hear a lot of stories about it. Comes up. Got one that says, ever have a seizure and just continue on with your day despite being sleepy or weak? Normally, when I have one, I usually fight the post-seizure effects and go about my day like I never had one. Granted, I should probably chill, but having stuff to do, like go to work or whatever, I may need to do that first. I don't put anything before my seizures. If I have a seizure, I mean, I have stayed at work, but I was just like, I thought I was okay. But now these days, no. I remember having a seizure at the register, and then she was like, you want to stay or you want to go home? And I was like, I'll stay because I need the money at the time, but it's put off like it's not that bad for people. Like epilepsy isn't a big deal. And when I look back at it, I should have left because maybe that wasn't okay because I was tired, bad headache, and I just like, I'm finish this day. Just fighting my way through the day, basically.
Yeah, I kind of rationalize it because it took me 2 years to get the disability, and that's pretty much the time when I was saying whether it was a seizure or not, I still got things to do. And that's kind of what maybe gave me more leverage for the case, because the job had to call the ambulance so many times over those 2 years, and it obviously wasn't going away. So yeah, I mean, we do what we got to do, but at a certain point, you can't deny it anymore, and it really is just more dangerous and hectic for the patient and the family.
Yeah.
Most times I rest, but I do remember I don't. Well, it was I think one day back in high school. I woke up after a seizure, and I'm like, I gotta hurry up and get to school. And I'm telling my dad this, like, I gotta go to school. And he's like pulling me back, and I can see like the sun is like setting, but I'm like telling him I gotta go to school. It's like 7 p.m. at nighttime, Easter, you know.
Oh man.
Yeah, I guess sometimes I've done both. Sometimes you just gotta keep going through your day, and then some
Yeah.
days I can rest and actually take the time for myself. It just depends.
Yeah, sometimes I want to be like, I need some attention afterwards, and then sometimes I'm like, okay, I can just go about my day. But ever since going through this on Reddit, I was just like, looks like I might need to go to the hospital more than I do. Um, I just hate sitting there for hours, and they come in like every hour, not every 20 minutes or 30 minutes. They come in like once an hour. You all right? You need anything? So I'd be like, I can be at home.
And it's totally hit or miss when you go to the hospital. You never know if they're going to do that scan or that test that shows you something conclusive that would make a difference in your treatment or management or anything. Sometimes you go in and they do the test and just say you're fine, leave. But it's like 6 hours later.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I don't even get those tests sometimes. I get there and they be like, did you hit your head? And I'd be like, no, I didn't hit my head. So now I'm just sitting in a bed because I didn't hit my head. There's no test. Now I'm sitting there for like 6 hours getting rest, basically. They don't come back and do anything.
So
They
they
don't come
literally
check the
like take your heart
IV.
rate, check your blood pressure, and say, we'll see in a little bit.
Nah, they'd be like the ambulance did that on the way. So you just sit right here in this bed, take up space from someone who might really need it. Hey, I was recently diagnosed with epilepsy last night. And last night, a strange thing happened to me. I was having a dream where I was just stressed, and all of a sudden, everything started to move quickly. I woke up and my heart was racing, feeling dizzy, a little out of it, had a pounding headache. Do anybody have this experience? Not me.
I would never
Anybody?
be able to remember dreams. Sorry, Pookie, go ahead.
Not me. So, I mean, if you guys have any.
Nope.
Never.
Another one. Does anybody find it hard to speak afterwards? Sometimes my words get jumbled, but there was this one time that my parents were just talking to me, and I felt like I was talking, but I wasn't saying anything. And they started getting angry because they thought I was fully aware. I get maybe tongue tied, but I haven't got to where I can't respond.
Yeah, I forget the words, but I can still speak.
Okay. Yeah, this
Yeah, I
person
can
said they
like
couldn't speak.
describe a word, I'm like that thing, I might not be able to grasp like an actual word, but I can still communicate a little bit, but I would say my what do they call that? Aphasia or something? But I have a TBI as well, so that could be like a TBI thing after a seizure.
Does anyone know what jaundice is?
Yellowing of the skin, I think.
Oh
It
yeah.
is.
Starts with the liver. So some
Yeah.
kind of infection with the liver that
Yeah.
I think it's
Well, your liver
yellowing of the
controls
skin.
your immune system, so
That's kind of weird because this
jaundice, I
person
think it's
says
called.
jaundice during seizure. Has anyone else experienced this? I've seen two neurologists and neither of them really addressed it, but I don't think it's normal. My liver enzymes are all over the place, and in the hospital after a bad seizure, my partner said it looked like I had jaundice and really pale. I'm seeing an hepatologist in a couple of weeks, so of course I'm going to bring it up. But have you guys ever went through this? No,
I
I
don't think
mean,
Me,
jaundice So it says yellow skin caused by the buildup of bilirubin in the blood. And it may occur if the liver can't efficiently process the red blood cells. So I don't know
Yeah,
if that's something that would just happen and then go away, maybe. I don't know.
yeah.
Maybe it is, but
Being the one that has a liver Nash, um, definitely go get your liver checked because it, like I said, being taking pills and all doesn't help your liver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you have, I mean, that's how I found having multiple seizures after seizures. Like it was, I'm trying to remember. I started getting, I just kept waking up like I had seizure. I had a seizure. I had a seizure. And then it's like, this is too much. And and I went to my neurologist and it's like, you're having something, but we don't know what it is. And I went and did all these other tests to see what's wrong with my body. And that's when they found out like there was something wrong with my liver.
Yeah, I heard that
Like,
all these pills mess with our liver.
yeah.
Try to drink a lot of water.
Yeah, I drink a lot of water. I
Speaking
think
of
I drink
water,
too much water.
someone says odd taste in your mouth a week after starting Depakote. Does it go away? I've never taken Depakote. This person says not sure how to describe it, but it's a metallic taste. Did you experience something similar when you started taking Depakote? Anybody take Depakote?
No,
I've taken it
Mm.
before. I don't remember it, but a metallic taste sounds like you might have been through a seizure.
That's the vibe I get. I get the metallic taste either when I had a seizure or after.
yeah, that's when I get it.
Yeah.
Well,
Kevin,
I still get like a bitter taste in my mouth. I think that might be
Yeah,
right after I take the medicine because the medicine just tastes bad. Like the Ompi, I think, or the Max, they just taste really bad, so I swallow them really quick. So, but I I I don't think I taste anything anymore, but not during the day.
and definitely with Depakote, you gotta keep your blood, like keep getting your blood work, uh, getting checked because it's one of those like, what is it, divaporic acid? So,
Ah,
like, yeah, they want you
right.
to, they want to keep checking on that.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
You have to stay on the ball with Depakote.
does anybody get the impending doom feeling?
Yes.
No.
Please explain, because I don't.
Um, like before a seizure?
Yeah.
Or yes. Okay. So uh, I don't know. It's like a really strong deja vu feeling, but a really intense fear. So, like, something is going to happen, but it's like it's happened before, but you know it hasn't happened before. And it creates a really intense anxiety, and it just feels like an impending doom. And I get a fear of God. I get the look, like a fear of God in my eyes.
Okay, that's interesting. 'Cause
Yeah.
I should not know. And I hear it a lot, the impending doom feeling.
Yeah.
That's how my doctor describes mine, like something in my head luckily tells me like sit down, like something's about to happen, sit down. So I've kind of been lucky enough to like, yeah, been able to sit down. But they call it the impending fear or for
Yeah.
mine too. But it's just something very strongly telling you sit down.
Yeah.
Like there's
Something's
something's about to happen. Yeah, there's something's gonna happen.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
And
hoping
now
my
I
dog can
know
do
that
for
it's a
me.
trigger.
yeah.
Eventually, I'm hoping my dog can do that for me. If this one starts like circling around me or something, because I've never had auras for focals or tonic-clonics.
Yeah, like I can't tell if mines are like auras or whatever. Like I said, sometimes I have just the bad vibe that just tells me sit down somewhere, something bad is gonna happen. You're gonna have a seizure. And then I don't have them. So those ones I don't really understand if that's an aura or not. It's like it's like a vibe, I guess. Just be careful.
It sometimes feels like it.
Sometimes
Yeah.
I do have it, and sometimes I don't. But sometimes it's just
Yeah.
like I had the vibe and nothing happens, and I'm like, maybe I just had a weird vibe. I did something wrong. Maybe I should drink some water or something, eat something.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm
my
always
nerve, like,
unaware right before I go into one. It's like, oh, you're too late. I'm already like, I
I'm
don't know.
sorry. So you're too late. Anyhow,
Yeah.
Just a few seconds.
It's like
yeah.
I'm already unconscious by the time, I guess, if I do have an aura, uh, I'm already unconscious by time you know
Yeah, I
I
have
can
just
notice
enough
it.
time to get the look of like the fear of God in my eyes until someone help me, and then I am on the ground.
what were
Yeah,
you gonna
because
say,
it's an
Astra?
interesting thing. I was just gonna say it's interesting because like my neurologist, he called that like that was or he called it an aura, and then my epileptologist is like, well, you're already in the seizure whenever you have that. Like by the time I'm already there, because it really is, it's weird. It is just like a few seconds. It's just a few moments. And
Yeah.
it's such like you were saying, like a deja vu feeling. Like I've been here before. Like I know what it is, but at that moment you just still don't know. But I'm lucky enough to like something tells me to sit down.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's an interesting one. It's hard to explain,
Right.
really.
All right, to the next one. Am I getting this right? After a couple weeks of not wanting to start the meds, that's a problem. After a couple weeks of not wanting to start the meds that were prescribed to me by my neurologist, started taking Keppra after consulting my psychiatrist. Interestingly, she said that it may act as a mood stabilizer, so I felt more confident in taking my medication as I have had 2 seizures at night in the last month. Jaw was convulsing uncontrollably during sleep. What I understood from my research is that I have to take the drugs to prevent me from having a TC seizure. It's kind of common sense. In the future, as that might happen, and that basically not having seizures, no matter if they seem to be bad for me, is still important. Am I getting this right? Do the seizures still affect me, even if they are not as strong and overwhelming? Still have to wait for my neurologist appointment for a couple weeks now, so I thought I'd ask you guys. I just say take the pills. I mean,
Yeah.
they suck. I could say that, but seizures suck. So
Yeah.
take your
Yeah.
pills.
Do yourself, and
Yeah.
it's better safe than sorry.
Well, I could see why they were hesitant to start it, because if they already had a psychiatrist involved, like medication not supposed to be, like those negative interactions can be really scary. So I can see why they were hesitant to take it, but to say that it acted as a mood stabilizer, and I've heard Keppra rage like 100 times in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So that was a little surprising.
Yeah, that one, they said stabilizer. I was like, what? I don't think I've ever heard that. But I don't want to like scare people, but
I mean, each brain
Yeah,
works of their own, so it might help. But
Like none of us are medical professionals yet, but like I see a lot of different symptoms or medications affecting like women and men a lot differently.
Yeah.
Just seizures in general, like how it progresses sometimes.
I
But
got
yeah,
something.
that's another thing that this is really good for noticing trends and actually being able to hear it from real people. It's way more believable than when the doctors say it.
Especially when we have taken the medicine.
oh no,
Yeah, and it's like they're not allowed to tell you something that's been suspected or that happens in a lot of their patients. Jamar Trey Williams, I'm speaking right now. Hold on. All
Yeah.
right, you guys, I gotta explain to my son what a dollar bill is.
I got something that says hypersexuality. Trigger warning for SA and sex and other gross stuff. And remind you guys, I did not read this before. So, yeah. Anyone else had experience with hypersexuality? I used to hate sex. I am a victim. But recently, after having seizures and taking Keppra, I've been angry and also really in the need for closeness. My BF and I just spent 4 hours together during you know what. I don't want to be too graphic. I could go for longer, but he wants to sleep, and I respect him. I just want to know if I'm alone in this or is this something someone else has experienced. I'm not a fan. I am not into self-harming myself. I did a decade ago, but I'm past that. My boyfriend has been very polite, and I'm eating crab that he made. I don't know if the crab had to do with anything, but
Metaphor or something? I don't know.
I guess he made dinner for her. So
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
he said he's polite, and I'm eating crab. So yeah,
Okay. Go with that.
Yeah.
hypersexuality. I don't know. I can say it's taken sex drive away. Like someone's told me that. Like, what's going on with you? Do you not like me anymore? What's going on? And I just be like, I didn't even think about it for the past 6 months.
It's not
It hasn't crossed
that.
my mind.
Yeah, it's like you're more tired. But
Yeah, it's like in the beginning. Sometimes it's like I guess that's the phase where I guess you want to show a person what you're worth. I guess. In the beginning, it's like a lot, and then afterward, it's just like, all right, whenever I'm ready, I guess. And sometimes it just never get that
yeah.
feeling. Like I need to go call somebody.
I mean, TMI, but I attributed that to just like being grateful for not dying in the last cluster. So when they up the meds, I guess that is what happened. And, you know, last one was right before COVID and quarantine, baby, here we are.
Yeah.
Once again, it did. That's what I find affects men and women differently is definitely the hypersexual thing. I hear more from women than men.
Yeah, I've heard that from a few men that it takes away I don't know, I guess the urge or the feeling to want to for so long.
I would say that was possible during high school. You know, I was a little weird and confused, but
I was in my
uh,
20s.
what?
I could say
Yeah,
since you
I'm
did
still weird and
mention
confused, but
Keppra,
I'm
Keppra does
definitely
bring on
tired. But
anger.
hmm, oh yeah, yeah, those were some times. But the sexuality thing is
Yeah.
yeah, the drive is still there. I mean, no
Yeah.
problem.
I'm too old to have that drive.
I mean,
You're
and
never
then
too old.
there's times depending on like how many, if you're dealing with a lot of medicines or certain situations, if you're dealing with depression and stuff, that can affect your drive, you know. But
Yeah, with the sex thing, like I've literally been told, like, is it something about me? And I'd be like, nah. And then next time it'd be like, is there anything that you find sexy? And instead of saying, "Is there anything you find sexy about me?" the question was, "There anything you find sexy?" And for some reason, I was just like, "Shit, nudity, I guess." And still, her walking around, it didn't get me there. I guess that was just sexy to see, I guess. But I guess she guessed if I take off all my clothes, then something's gonna happen. Sometimes we're just watching TV after that. Like I don't, like yeah, the urge just
I
isn't
feel like the
there.
medicine, I feel like the medicine is so like controlling,
Yeah, like she
Yeah.
said, it's different for everyone. It controls everyone differently. It's crazy.
Um,
Uh, mhm.
Guys, I gotta go take care of my cat. It was great seeing you all. See you Tuesday.
All right. See ya.
I know I might have to see you guys on Tuesday too. I gotta go take care of my babies.
All right,
Hey,
And
have
take
a
my
good one.
medicine.
Nice to meet you both.
Nice meeting you.
we'll be here.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, hoping to see you guys on Tuesday. This has been so nice. Thank
Or
you
you
for
can
getting
come
this
back
together,
today.
Pookie.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you guys are still on, right?
Yeah, last time we went for 10 hours, and I was just like, I was asking people, like, you guys are on the East Coast, like Angel, and he was just wide awake. And I was like,
Yeah.
it's 2 a.m. over there, man. And he was just like, hey, how you guys doing?
Yeah, this is like so rare that you get to talk to other, people who actually know what you're experiencing. So this is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is
for
great.
real.
Yeah.
Check out my
I'll see you guys
YouTube
on
channel.
Tuesday. Yeah. That's where, yeah, I definitely did. I watched a couple and I liked them and I subscribed. So I'm
Thank
in
you.
it. Yeah, you're welcome. I'll see you guys later.
Okay.
All right. I moved to something that says rain. We have been having incredibly rainy and humid days for the past week. It's been nonstop, and I've been having auras and partials so frequently out of nowhere. I can't figure out why. I Googled this and it said rain can impact your seizure frequency. Has anyone else experienced this? I did not know that.
I did not know that either. I live in a really rainy state.
Then again, that's
I did
Google,
not
so you
know
can't
that.
take Google for
Yeah.
100% truth.
Well, can I
I
like
It's been a rainy
Google.
week.
Go ahead, Kevin.
I would say like weather patterns, not specifically rain. Like humidity really affects me. Like hot, humid weather, and when the weather changes. So that always affected me terribly. Like when the seasons change, I still get really terribly dizzy, and my sleep. I can't sleep when the weather changes, like in the spring and fall. I don't know. So it's not necessarily rain, it's other weather patterns. It can be rain, but yeah.
Yeah, someone said temporal pressure.
Right.
Uh,
Interesting.
yeah.
I would thought maybe it would be different affected at different elevations too. There's definitely different pressures, higher up and down here right on ocean level.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah. So another one. Constant smell auras. I know of a lot of people on this thread get a smell aura of something burning or smoke or old cigarettes. That's a nasty, sour, ashy smell that nobody else can smell. For me, it doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to have a larger seizure, but it's gotten to the point where it's been happening multiple times a day before seizures. Does anyone know what it means that you're getting a smell auras this frequently? I'm contacting my epileptologist, but I'm curious if anyone else has experienced this such frequent. The smell, I've never got that. I get the metallic taste, but I've never gotten the smell. I've heard someone say they get phantom smells, but not me personally. Anybody get smell auras?
You're a mute, Twix.
Sorry, my sister was talking to me. I do sometimes get phantom smells. It depends on the kind of seizure. But normally it is like the metallic-y smell if it's not the metallic taste. So, yeah.
Okay. Someone in the comments says, yeah, that means you're having mini seizures constantly. Go to the doctor ASAP. Is that how you felt? Go to the doctor?
I mean, it didn't feel like go to the doctor, but it felt like something to record for sure. So,
When you discussed it with your doctor, did they end up changing any doses or taking it seriously?
they did put it in my notes. They did jot it down. So, it is something to bring up to the doctor for sure.
Someone said, I have to call someone to come close to me and smell if they can smell the same thing. And if they say, what are you talking about? Then I know that it's just me and that it's phantom smell.
Thank you. I'm gonna get going.
All right, I'll talk to you later.
See
Have a
ya.
great-
Nice meeting you.
All right,
Later.
Quick. Bye.
Bye.
Nice meeting you.
It's nice meeting everyone.
Do you feel embarrassed about having a seizure in public? Not anymore. I have seizures loads in different places, and a lot of people been see my without realize it's my seizure because it's not that obvious. I have a seizure in school. This is a child. I have a seizure in school, restaurant, hotel, etc. I never feel embarrassed because I used to it and happy to explain it to people. What happened to me if they ask me what happened. I think I don't feel it's embarrassing because it's a normal experience for people who have epilepsy. So why should we blame ourselves? My question is, do you ever get embarrassed? Not anymore. Now I just look at it as this is going to happen. I can't prevent it. If you're going to be mad, just be mad.
That's still a pretty
Yeah.
mature outlook. Because I know when it happened to me in school, I was like intolerable. I'm pretty sure I was like lashing out for the next couple of days. I was just mad at everything.
Oh,
I know
yeah.
I was embarrassed about the one I had in high school, and then it turned out to be like a different reaction from my classmates. But yeah,
I actually had a pretty accepting high school, and I only had one, maybe one or two during high school, and they were actually pretty cool about it. So, but yeah, I no, I mean, after a seizure, I'm more concerned about other things. Embarrassment's like the last thing on my mind, so I'm more
yeah.
concerned about, yeah, I'm more my
Did I get
head's,
hurt?
I'm
yeah,
just trying
I'm
to
more
think,
concerned
okay,
about
get
my
your life
body,
together,
my
maybe.
fog head, so
Yeah.
much other.
Trying to get out of the fog first.
Other people are the last concern. Yeah.
All right. You guys, Sailor Mom said, if anyone starts to moan or make a sorrowful noise as one starts, that's been about 4 times now, like in the past 36 hours. Yeah, I can't tell what's going to happen right before, usually. Just
Those are
bang.
the absence for me. Those are the focal seizures that progress.
Okay.
Those are the ones that turn into the bad ones.
Yeah. I don't.
But it took a long time to figure that out.
Let's see what's next. So reduced dosage, now experiencing arrhythmias. Is that normal? Reduced lamotrigine from 550 to 500 milligrams since 4/4/25. The first night, I felt my heart was going to explode. I expected it to be a side effect of what's going down and the headaches and dizziness to follow. Now I've been feeling heart palpitations at no specific time. I'll just feel it when
Whoa.
it happens. I don't think it's a major concern. Anyone else have similar experiences on Motrg? Yeah.
Heart palpitations?
Yeah, that's
Uh,
You
scary.
better go to the doctor.
Yeah, right. I would agree 100%. Go to your doctor right away. Yeah.
yeah, I
I'm
always get
sorry
that
for
feeling where it's
laughing.
like,
I'm sorry.
I always get the
Nah,
feeling it's like hot flashes, and it's like I can feel that every few seconds on my chest. It's like, but yeah.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
scary.
Yeah.
That sounds like something two specialists have to talk about together.
Yeah.
But
any,
sometimes the weirder, like less common side effects come out when you're taking more meds. So like it's another kind of hit or miss.
Or it could be an allergy to a certain medication. Yeah.
but you can't mess around with your heart, if you feel like something's
Yeah.
happening. Yeah.
next, how do you mentally recover from a temporal lobe seizure? I recently had a rough experience while on vacation. I forgot to bring my medication for temporal lobe epilepsy. After 2 days without it, I started having seizures again. It began while I was sleeping, and then it started happening throughout the day. About 6 to 7 short episodes, around a minute each. Along with the seizures, I started feeling mentally foggy and noticed altered smells and tastes. Things I've experienced before during TLE episodes, but this time it felt heavier and more disorientating. Now that I'm heading back to take my meds and prepare to return to work, I'm really hoping to find ways to feel more mentally grounded and normal again. Does anyone else have advice they follow after a cluster like this? How do you help your mind reset after the fog of TLE? I don't have
That's
TLE.
that's just more than TLE. That was withdrawals.
Yeah, right. And it's going to take a while for the medicine to build back up, right? Yeah. So,
I mean, dependence sucks, but that's exactly what epilepsy meds are. And if they mention something about their parents going back to work, then they might be at an age where like hormones are raging and they have a quicker metabolism. So who knows how long it's going to even take for those levels to get back to where they can be somewhere near control.
yeah.
That's just the withdrawals are the worst. Those
Mhm.
always triggered worse seizures for me. That's what they told me to do when they wanted to get all the data to put this RNS in, was to stop taking the meds for a couple days, make sure you have as many bad ones as possible while you're here, and then we'll have, the insurance company will approve the surgeries.
You guys have temporal lobe?
They said
Yes.
mine is everywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think mine
both,
is
right.
pretty sure temporal lobe.
They implanted the rods like on this side and this side, so I think temporal lobe is somewhere back there.
How do they like? How often do they check that?
For the first 3 years, it was every 3 months. I would go to the neurologist visit, and there was an RNS tech there, and they would just do a regular data transfer. I use this laptop, or this is a tablet now. This is the one that's actually like Wi-Fi compatible, and I use this wand to hold it over where they installed it, or whatever the word is. And it gets data about 2 minutes. But I do data transfers every day. So they just do it in office, I guess, to make sure that I'm not having a seizure like while I'm there, because they can't mess with the settings. And then, I have to, once they review the data, go over any relevant episodes that I want to tell them about. Um, they just kind of confer in the corner, never showing me data, never really bringing me in on the conversation, just deciding what settings to change and telling me to use the wand again and move on to the next patient. So I'm gonna find a better epilepsy center, I think, because right now the fact that I'm going to a neurologist and hearing all the other participants here just encourage more being more proactive for yourself. I really
Yeah.
want this RNS to actually work, and I think I need to be in the loop a little bit more.
Yeah.
I think that goes for any doctor, but yeah, definitely for epilepsy.
Yeah, we're just looking to move out of state soon, so it's, you know, it's doesn't seem to be like worth the fight right now. I'll just try to get all my records before we leave.
I
And I go
I
ahead,
love
Kev.
my doctor. Well, I see a fantastic doctor, but I only see my doctor once a year now. It probably because I'm doing really well, but I really want to lower my medicine, and this is something that's I'm not. That's the highest priority now is to lower medicine, and it's really difficult to see this doctor at the University of Penn, and it's an excellent clinic, but maybe it might be time to start shopping around so I can just get more uh, appointments.
Yeah, that's the vibe I'm getting to, especially since she switched it to every 6 months. So now I feel like I don't want to say they're giving up, but the seizures are
Yeah,
no more controlled than they were at the beginning. The grand malls, yes, they're shorter. We have made progress, but the fact that they're opting not to see me every 3 months anymore means like, is this the plateau? Is this kind of as far as it goes? So
yeah.
we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
This year, there's going to be a lot of changes, and we'll just take it day by day.
I got
Any of you
something
guys
else.
ever get like medical ID cards or bracelets or anything?
Not yet. I plan on it though.
I had bracelets. I can't get the metal bracelets because if I go through a grand mal, they're gonna break. And the last rubber one, it's like the information on it needs to be updated. So now I have to get a new updated, you know.
I found a program that's out of the UK, and those cards would be perfect. They're free. You open it up on a PDF and fill in the information, and you can print it out. And so you could fix it on a little piece of cardboard or just put it in like a card holder or whatever. But it says the only problem with it is that on the back where it explains what to do when you're having a seizure, it says call 999 because I guess over there it must be a different emergency number. I'm
999.
just really surprised there's not more push for awareness and things like that in the United States. That was kind of another eye opener that they have it in the UK for free, but nothing like that here. The
Yeah.
closest thing was on Etsy, and it prints out on like an 8x11, so I would have to cut it up and make it a card. But that's why I'm considering a tattoo.
Oh,
Yeah, I've seen
Yeah.
some pretty. I don't know. I don't want to say like it doesn't look too medical. It doesn't look. It's not just like the little red square that says epilepsy underneath. But yeah, I mean, I could get
right.
it
That
on
would
the form, and
that would be my concern is that people wouldn't take that seriously. No offense. I mean, it's just,
yeah, that's
I,
true.
and I'm weird about stuff now. I don't like wearing jewelry and tattoos and stuff.
Yeah,
It's just my personal preference, whether, like I haven't worn the band in a while, but I do have the VMS magnet. I do carry it
yeah,
around a lot, and it's tough to um get it into if I want to see a concert or something. I have to
yeah.
explain why are you carrying around a piece of metal, you know? So yeah, right. Yeah. But
Well, I
usually,
think I'm just so desperate for independence at this point. I'm literally just willing to tattoo it on my arm and tell anybody who's concerned, yes, I'm going to go for a walk. And if anything bad happens, you know, it's not going to be hard for somebody to figure out what's going on.
okay.
Yeah, I try to keep my location on my iPhone so people can see me going wherever.
Yeah,
Some people, not everyone has my location, but a
right.
few do.
Yeah. My sister has my location. Like she can plan it down. Usually I'm in the same spot, but I always tell everybody where I'm going, what route I'm taking, you know.
Yeah. I try to just like, oh, I'm gonna do this today. I'm gonna be on the train or whatever. Keep an eye on me. If I'm somewhere for too long at one train station, something's a problem. Um,
FaceTime drains battery really quick too.
Yeah.
So whenever I want to take like a longer walk or something and they want to be on FaceTime, say I'm just having a bad week, or it's like, that third week of the month, then they want to FaceTime me everywhere I go, and I can't stand that.
I'm gonna go through some rants and I just like some opinions. Says I hate how epilepsy holds me back sometimes. Not sure if this is a rant or for support, but I've been dealing with epilepsy for about 10 years now, which came back randomly during a game of chess with someone in the county jail after I did something really stupid when I was 18. I broke into a car while I was really messed up. I do understand that traumatic events or stress can trigger seizures, but I want to point out that I had them when I was a child. Then they have just started getting worse and happening randomly. I wanted to talk about how Kepler makes me feel, how I'm unhappy with my life because I feel I'm unable to do things due to epilepsy. Although I have been thinking to try weed since they say it helps with seizures and pain, but I'm unsure if it would be a replacement for Kepler for me. No, you don't replace Kepler, not with weed at least. Uh, hey, I literally feel like I'm killing myself sometimes, and I feel like I'm going to be alone because who actually would deal with me being so effing emotional, being a guy? People don't actually understand either how it effed me up and how effed up it is and how much you have to deal with. They think it's just as simple as easy to handle it, but not easy to dealing with the meds as well. The emotions, the actual suicidal thoughts from the meds and emotions, and the not having a future and spending it alone because who the F wants to be there for a guy as a woman since you can't even be a protector or provide. My ex told me I'm a demon and have problems that I need to be better, need to be a better person because I had Kepler rage moment. Although I tried to explain to her how much this stuff affects me, but it all seems so flexible to her and everyone else. It's really something you have to go through and understand how effed up it is. I broke my femur hip and shattered my heel because I had a seizure while driving. Now I walk like a dumbass. Disabilities is hard to Disability is hard to get because the government is an a-hole about it, and I can't get a job far away because I can't drive since the state sent me a letter saying they've revoked my license because of seizures. I want to get an office job where I'm not having to walk around as much. I constantly have pain in my heel and knee because of the accident, since they ended up installing rods and pins in the area that were badly damaged so that they could heal properly. I miss being able to live a normal life. I want to help, and I don't know if I'm ever going to get that help to bounce back at this point. I've hit rock bottom before, so I know this is not forever, but I don't know this time because I actually feel like I should end up, but I don't want to hurt myself or my family or put them through that pain. I felt as if I don't even feel real lately and have crazy amounts of anxiety. I'm sorry if I'm being selfish and sound like a total loser, but these posts keep me from hurting myself since it's the only place I can relate to and not being looked at as a nut for saying some things that I've said. Uh, I just say sometimes you gotta say F people.
Yeah.
Some people are just so unaware that they say and do dumb stuff. You gotta, I can't say just ignore it because it's hard for some people to ignore, but I've come to learn that people are just gonna say dumb stuff. I try just not to let it get to me these days.
Even even people that like have been your caretakers when they're like mad at you, it's like that's all forgotten, like you have seizures, you're going through medicines and stuff like this, yeah.
Yeah, it's hard not to feel like a burden, but that guy actually said that this post, these rants help, help him from not hurting himself. So that's just another testimony to how important
Yeah.
these, this group, this platform is.
Yeah.
Because, sometimes you really do need to hear, especially when it feels like it's going wrong, one thing after another, and just being able to sustain your life is taken away
Yeah.
from you. You really do need somebody to tell you what to do or make suggestions.
Right.
Like without a support system, that guy's situation
Oh,
sounds
that
rough.
support system. If you don't have it, man, it sucks.
Exactly. I mean, you already got a
Yeah.
record. Who knows for what it was? Who knows for how hard that's going to make it to even get the job, let alone a job that's not labor based. And that's a lot of cards stacked against that guy. I pray for him.
Man,
And your
just talk
feelings
about
and frustrations are completely valid, and it's a situation we've all been in at some point, having injuries and yeah, and you have a right to be concerned like that. It's something, the worries about relationships and such. Place I've been, certainly. I don't know. I don't know if I can speak for everyone else, but yeah, I mean, uh, yeah, you have a uh, uh, anyone else want to take it from here? Because, but all I can say is we've been there, and then yeah,
that's
and,
exactly it. We've been there.
and
Yeah.
Ranting around people who understands does feel a lot better than ranting to those who say they love you but don't really get it.
Right. Because
Yep.
ranting around people who know you, other than ranting to people like us,
Who
people who know you, they're not going to listen because they're
experienced
like,
it.
why are we talking about epilepsy? Why are we talking about seizures? Like, I guess it is uncomfortable with some people, but sometimes we just need somebody to talk to.
okay,
Mhm.
yeah.
It's like, we can say it to a doctor and everything, or
Yeah.
unless the doctor has epilepsy
He doesn't
and
want to hear a
been
rant.
through it, it's like it's it's a whole different level,
Doctor
you
doesn't want
know.
to hear a rant.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
That's one of the more embarrassing times for me, when not even when I'm having a seizure, but when I'm actually just talking for real with the doctor, and they look at me like, you have intractable epilepsy. Are you sure you didn't just never tell your first doctor that you did coke a couple times? Or like they go back to questioning me about the cause. And it's over a decade now. Yes, I had a childhood, but it is intractable epilepsy. I never had any lesions or giveaway, it was never treated for concussions. I mean, it is what it is. Don't take my rant and spin it.
right.
Yeah, the doctors don't listen. They just don't listen to what's relevant sometimes.
Yeah.